No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Break. To the mark, 152. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Check 37.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Todd Gurley. 76 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they have both. Overcommitting in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. I got you. I got you. Switch. Protein spill. 5.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 75 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. From the 31, Locke. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And the Texans first down.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Pick it up. Shoot.
On first down, Graves. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Let it. Check that one, Mike 52 right here. Go.
Throwing his lock on third down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They'll try to run this one in. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. No problem there on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Dolphins take over first down.
Let's go. Let's go.
25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Yes.
Stidham sets to throw on first. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Now Stidham. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Joey Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Mike 5. Check. Wahoo. Check. Mike 5. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Lee Griffin.
3rd and long. It's Stidham. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 14-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Locke. And an alley to run. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time and led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Let's go. 18 Gator. General West. Yep. Motion.
On 2nd and 12. Block. Allen's got it complete. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. These two teams all tied after one. And he's able to get it out of there. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Down. 10-2 stop. I got you. Nice.
Now Stidham on 1st down. Going left side, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Ready, set.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Stidham. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Lock to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot. You know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because he had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Ready.
On 1st down, Stidham. And that's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Check.
They'll run with a Hall of Famer, Peyton. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Set. 90 Wolf.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
Hey, Alpha.
Here's Stidham. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead. point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Lock. And this one's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now Locke. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Come on, set. 15 line. 15 line. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And he will find his man on the outside. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. The toss out to Barkley. And an alley to run. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And this one is right through. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up. It led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Lock now. 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Hey, we got Mike 50, Wild Bill.
From midfield, here's Lock. Caught by Allen. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, pick your game up. Alert.
22 Jet Bomber, 22 Jet Bomber.
Locke looks to throw it again. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Locke to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, nice set back.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They look to throw. It's Locke. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's a 2nd missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens, because you wonder if this will affect the 4th down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Here's Stidham to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 31-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
I'm letting you know. Hey, Charlie.
Mike 5. Let's go.
Now it's Stidham. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Stidham. Catch is made by Harry. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. To throw is Stidham. That's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point forthcoming. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
First down, Houston.
Down. 8, read.
52 right here. 52. Don't get nervous.
Hey, Foxtrot, let's go.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw it is Locke. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Clock now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
We'll see if they can do it here. On 2nd and 12, Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 39 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Come on,
following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get...
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Graves. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Let's go. 30 base.
Left, left, left. Watch left, left, left. Double dog, double dog. That's the way.
Third quarter of play with the score Dolphins 55.
The Texans on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6.
Big trip. Big trip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing now is Lott. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's get that ball. By 5.
On 3rd down, Stidham. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
They hand off to their big tight end. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense.
Fire.
On third down, it's Graves. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Houston. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Stidham on second down. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Break.
Squeeze, double up.
Go. Go, team, spill.
4 down.
Put up. Hey, get it.
On third and long, it's locked. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is fielded inside the 5. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes it.